Hello everyone. I wanted to show you that I'm going to make a microphone apparatus. It's going to be suspended from the ceiling. I've done a lot of research and I couldn't really find anything, so I wanted to give it a shot myself, see if I can do a do-it-yourself project. Let's get started. I've got a microphone clip that came with my microphone. I'm going to use some small plexi pipe and I'm going to attach this to that. I've got a flange, 1/2 inch. Gonna go on the ceiling. I'll screw it into the wood only by the 2 screws. Talked to a few people. It doesn't look like I'll need all 4 points of suspension. A couple screws to go with the flange. Got a PVC E section. It's threaded on the one side. It's smooth on these sides. I'm going to attach this threading to the T section. After that, I'm going to attach it to a longer pole. I've already cut one right here. I've got another one to cut, so I'm going to show you something that I bought. A PVC Pipe Cutter, and it's made it extremely simple to do this setup. Once I hang this pipe from the flange with this T section as well, or not T section, this is the threaded section. I'll be putting this one on there. I'll seal it with cement. I'll screw it into the flange. I'll attach this end right here. And then at the bottom, I'm going to put in these pieces. So it's going to suspend from the air as a T. With the plexi, this is what I'm hoping. I actually haven't done this. It's all theory crafting. I'm going to try to attach the microphone clip to that. I'm going to drill a hole into the PVC and it'll slide right down in. That should give me full radial control going left and right, as well as a mic clip normally going up and down. That's the plan. I've done all the measuring, so now I want to put it all together and go through the process with everyone. Okay, so I'm going to cut down one of the PVC pipes so everyone can see how it works with this tool. If you don't want to get this tool, it's about 14 bucks at Home Depot. They cut them for you. I'm sure that most hardware stores can do that. I'm not going to do any measuring because I've already measured out the one piece. I'm going to be making 2 of these stands. So since I'm making 2, I've already cut one down to what I need. Pull open the tool. It's a ratcheting tool. That means that you're going to crank on it. It's going to allow you to bring back and it's going to keep the pressure, then crank on it continually until it cuts. I'll measure them up. Where I want to cut it. So now I've let go. It's still holding the pressure in. I'm going to just follow through. Now it's time to assemble these pieces. So since this is going to be the main piece going from the ceiling into the flange, I need it to be the most solid, which means I'm going to cement it to the threading. So I'll grab the threading pieces here. Got a damp paper towel on the end. Clean it on the inside, dry it out, make sure there's no particles of dust, it's not dirty. Once I do that, I'm going to open up my can. The brush is in the can. I only need a thin coat. Do you have some more paper towels? I want to grab them. We want to apply a thin coating on the inside of the threading. Get our threaded piece. Way around. Put that back. Says you're supposed to do a dry fitting beforehand. Already dry fit all my pieces. Solid. We're going to do the other side as well. This one piece is going to have a threaded end on both. Tight as it'll go. A little more. Do it. So now this is going to be our main piece that attaches to the flange. With the T-section, I've measured and cut, or I didn't cut any of these, but I did measure these things. When screwing them in, once you get them in tight, actually really hard to get undone. You might even need tools to do that. Doesn't look like it's going to screw all the way on. That's fine. Once you get it threaded a few times around, it's not going to come loose. Now I've got this so far. I did want to experiment with these pieces where I'm not going to glue them on. I want to make these pretty portable. I can take them down from the ceiling, use this room for other purposes. When they fit in, they seem to be pretty solid already. Doesn't seem like they'll go anywhere unless you have maybe a great deal of weight on them. I'm not going to be planning on doing that. This is going to be the basic principle of these pieces. Screw it into the flange. These flanges fit really well on these, no problems whatsoever. Now we're going to hang it from the ceiling. Screw the flange into the ceiling. I'm going to actually throw a coat of black paint onto these. Put some end caps on. These are 50 cents a piece. They look nice. Give it a finishing touch. A little more professional if you want to try this out for yourself. And that's almost everything. Only got a couple more things to finish. Okay, so what I want to do here is I want to drill a hole, a 1/2 inch bit, into here. That'll designate that as the top piece. Once I drill that hole, then I can attach the mic to the Pex pipe. I might have misspoken earlier and called it a Plex, but it is a Pex 1/2 inch piping. There we go. In theory, I should be able to widen this with the rotary tool, insert this into the PVC pipe, and use that as my mic. Now let's fit it on. All that. Yes. Okay, there's a couple things I can take away from this experience. One, very messy. Shavings everywhere. Don't do this on a tablecloth. That was just for demonstration. If I had to do this again, I would do it all in my basement, especially drilling through PVC. Takeaway number 2, PVC is not the easiest to drill into. I used a pretty large bit, but I did snap one of my 10-inch pieces. It's no big deal. I had extra. PVC is really cheap. Found that when I drilled faster, it was a little better, but once I reached and made a hole, it was more likely to snap, so something to be careful about. Takeaway number 3, if you don't have a Dremel, it's going to be really hard to make that hole big enough with just a drill. You could do it, it would take a lot of work, you might snap your piece. You might want to use a smaller drill after you drill the main hole and just to widen it out. Either way, if you have a Dremel, use it, because that was definitely much easier for me. And takeaway number 4, let me show you what I did with the Pex Pipe. Once I have it on there, I'm going to take my tape measure. I'm going to measure a 1/2 inch from here, and that's where I'm going to cut it. It only needs a 1/2 inch from when you screw it on. Once you screw it on, it's not easy to take it out and then re-screw it on. Because the piece is so small, you just can't get enough torque on the item. Measure 1/2 inch. I'm going to eyeball it. That's where I'll cut. Once I do that, I can insert it in here. Let me grab that tool. There you have it. Now we have a microphone insert into here. Should be pretty solid and tight. Wiggle loose. If it was upside down, I'd be a little more afraid, but mine's going to be right side up. Yours might be different. If you did that, you could probably put a little glue at the bottom here. Maybe some of that cement. I don't know how the cement works on the outside of things, but definitely could put some kind of sealant. Make sure it stays on. Should be good to go. I think that wraps up pretty much everything. I'll show you the final product when I'm done. So here's the final product. As you can see, I already have them mounted to the ceiling. I didn't think it was necessary to look at them up close with the camera. There's not much to them. You can see that I have the cords zip tied there. I painted them black. They look pretty good. I've had a couple ideas since that I can do for future projects. I could make a frame that goes all the way around the table or a horseshoe shape around the table. That is something that I might end up doing myself. If that's the case, I would need 2 more of those stands mounted to the ceiling. I would put the frame all the way around in a horseshoe shape. I'm planning on doing a couple more projects involving PVC. My next project's going to be making a camera stand or a tripod. After that, I would like to make a couple adjustable poles that extend from the floor to the ceiling. I'll use those to mount some moving blankets to for absorption. If you like this project, please like the video, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you all next time.